Welcome back to Quest for Treasure. We're gonna do some more gold mining. Got the sluice out here today. Got the spring 2018 travel kit all set up. My little rig here for boulder hopping. I'll show you all the gear that I'm carrying with me, and hopefully we'll put in a good chunk of work and get some gold out of the boulders. Just to go over this design, what this is a fold out baby stroller that I took the other two tires off of, the back two tires that were of equal size, and a whole bunch of the framework. So you'll see it stripped down, but it made it into just this stretcher basically of your ultra light aluminum, as strong as you can make it to hold a baby up and keep them safe, but be ultra light. And it has all these cool little spots on it where screws and bolts went to attach the straps, so they're already like threaded and they're stuck in there, and the sluice fits perfectly in there. But this is my whole extreme kit going out for the day type of thing. Just this one strap holds the bucket on, and again I left pieces like this on instead, deconstructing them, because I thought, hey, those are good attachment points. So there's your one bungee, and then the bucket comes off. Now I've showed you guys that in all my videos. It's my regular, you know, bucket of goodies, classifiers and little tools in there and yada yada yada. It strips us down to this. I didn't want to open up the aluminum and bend it out by strapping this down, so all this is put in a specific way so the curve of that sits on the handle of this, which applies a wedge and pressure. So this doesn't ever bend open all the bolts and stuff there. Want to make sure how you're storing your stuff and carrying your stuff isn't tearing your gear up, you know. Okay, this is the other bungee on here. I wanted to not go crazy with bungees in this design, and this one pops off of the bar. It's the right size, and that just goes across the top of the shovel, which levers that down like a big old handle. Okay, so we got our pan and our digging implement, which leaves us with just the sluice. Now the sluice is an over-under here, so it sits on this little lip that was already welded on there. That's where the bucket goes. That's where this slides down onto. There's the shot of it. You can see how simple of a little frame this is. And this just tilts up and slides out. Now remember, I just came across that boulder field. So you're either carrying all this stuff or you have it rigged up on something by me in a single wheel. See this super light construction? So anyhow, there's a sluice. And then for kicks, you know, these are my two extras. So I go ahead and everything starts unprying from each other as you undo this. So one more bungee, and this is just a if you want it along with you option. So that just pops off of there, and see on the other side, these slots that I left, this happens to be perfect to hold the bar of your metal detector, and that sits nice, and that's like how it bends and it matches and it fits all in there, all slick like. Boom. That's not the line, that's the line. So I'm really happy with those little coincidental designs. You can keep the little thing tilted in. So you have that there to check your discard pile and your classifying, or wander around here and see if there's a nugget. And then anyways, this way. There's a simple little frame of it. That's all the strappages that there are. They basically stay on there. Just those two bungees that you saw. The lightweightness of it, I'm holding it with two fingers. Look, there's one finger. That's how light it is. And it just got that right curve for bouncing across the top of everything. So anyhow, that just goes over here for now. And picking a spot, see it out there? We're going to use that one, so I got to go get the sluice set up. I'll show you when I got in action. I'm going to haul some of these big flat stones over there and make the perfect thing. Be right back. There you go, I got that one in. Don't get frustrated putting your sluice in. It's always one of the hardest parts, and believe me, even when you have stands, it takes a little while, but it can save you time because you don't have to reset each time. I don't have a stand, but I do have my little V going on, and believe me, with this little side flow here, there's not actually a lot of current in it, so I had to do a lot of work. I could have spent digging to build a dam and end up pretty flat still. But we'll see if that doesn't make the little fine gold stick a little bit better. So our next choice is we have a little bit of falls up here, and we could use the height, but that's a whole nother building project. So where I want to dig is in the hole I was digging in the other day. See this big old boulder field, and now I'm liking some of these big ones that are out here, so I'm just going underneath the lips of them, you know. What I am noticing though is underneath all this elusively could go as deep as forever boulder field, there's bedrock. You see that? So if we can get down to the bottom of this under some big guys and start going into the pockets on the bottom of all this, we could really be into it. Let's get going. Got the classifier. Let's go get on our hole. If you look across this boulder field, you'll see there's boulders of all different sizes, and if you listen right now, I don't know if you can hear it, but underneath this water, especially when the water is up above all these trees, these boulders move around. As crazy as that seems, these are clunking and clanking, and so all the gravel in between them can be really washed clean, meaning you know, a grain of gold is heavier than rock, but it's not heavier than that rock. So if that rock is moving around, grains of gold are like flying down the river. Okay, they don't just fall out if things like this are flying along. Everything is relative. And so you can see whole piles of gravel, but that could be, if these were all just moving around and fluid and in motion, then all this gravel can just be fresh, light stuff that was literally flying through the water column with nothing heavy or precious in it that piled up there. So we're looking for the mega stones. See this one? That's a huge stone. It's the size of a Volkswagen Bug. And the reason why it looks like a tortoiseshell is because it's not in motion, okay? It's static. It's not moving around. It's had all these other stones beat on it and beat on it and beat on it. So what's under these is more likely to have been heavies that fell out in the low pressure zones and were able to accumulate, or that it get trapped there. You know that the dirt under there isn't just this season's light. Could have been some other season's light, but yeah, that's what you're looking around for, spots where you know that something hasn't moved in a while because of its shape, or nothing can pry at it, and digging in on the downstream side of them in the low pressure zones. And that's just how I'm taking my pick. So I'm saying one of these huge tortoiseshell ones that looks like it never moves, and dig in. Here I am. I'm digging underneath this one. See how it hasn't moved in forever? You can tell the vegetation's a dead giveaway. That means that soil and fine things have collected enough for those to grow there, not have been washed away and stirred anytime recent. And look down in there. Isn't that exciting? So we're gonna work our way this way under the front of it and deeper, and then down, because look here. That's bedrock. See that? That's where all these boulders are sitting on. See it weaving out? So it comes up here to slant. So this puppy might only have a foot pinched in between it and the bedrock, and that's where we want to be. Let's get on with it. Get the dirt up there. That's all been pinched there a while too. We're in a good spot. That's what 20 more minutes of hard digging has done for me. As I was about here, and I dropped down to here, and then down into there. That's really hard packed, so I'm having to find a way to undermine it here. But working my way in there, and any one of these could be a real heavy pay streak, or anywhere here in the grass. So there's the ever expanding quarry. And for all that work, I got really muddy and suited all my stuff. It's a sign that there's dirt. I got half a bucket, 3/4 of a bucket. So we gotta get it out there and run it through the sluice. On we go. Some gravel stuck in there already, but that's just from where I was testing my flow. And yeah, I'll let you see what this is like. It's a little bit slower than I would normally prefer, but let's see how we're doing here. We'll check it out together. Okay, well, it's clear in the black mat, and if you look in here, you can see it's trying to exchange. It's about as good as I got in this spot. I mean, I brought it up shallow. When it's shallow, it's just like shallow areas like this where the rapids are because there's rocks under it. And where it's deep, it makes it all calm. So I kept it shallow and then increased as much water flow into it as I could while keeping it shallow. So that's what we can do. Just keep feeding this puppy. It's cleaning itself out. That's all we needed to do, really. You never know, we might have been running too hot the other day, so this could be the perfect formula for stacking up the fine gold. We'll see. We got a ways to go here. I like to start it in as far forward on the head here as I can. That's the whole point of this thing, is to give the material time to spread out and the heavies to fall down to the bottom before you even start getting to the traps. So if you got it, use it. It's cleaning out. You can see the little lines backing up each time. Maybe slow enough to actually use some of my littler grooves and things that I did in the detailing. Okay, we'll keep feeding and then we'll get back to you. See what we got. Okay, saved a little water in here. It's dangerous not to let it all the way out. I didn't want to lose any gold, but I wanted to show you. Look at these riffles. That is just black sand. I don't know how well that's picking that up. I'll try and get you a close up. Got some good flow to it for being a clay stone of some sort. or a stained red tufa rock. I'm not sure. Part of today's game is bringing home the concentrates. That's the last clean out from the first bucket and the first run. I'm using such a big bucket that I'm cleaning it out a lot because that mat's just filling up with black sand. And so we're about to start the second, and I hit bedrock down at my hole, so we're trapped between a boulder and a hard spot, which is awesome. It's about a foot of dirt, and so we're not wasting any time in the field panning this out today. We're gonna go until it's like dark, trying to just gather concentrates, and then we're gonna use the wash plant at home, aka animal feed bucket and pan in garage, and do our cleanup. So that's how I speed stuff up. When I'm on the gold, I just stick on the hole and I'm taking everything, baby, from the rock to the mountain. Okay, update. It is later in the day and I've just been putting in some actual serious work. So this is what we got so far. I know that sounds crazy. Just a little bucket. It's only halfway full. But that represents one good pan, or I can be real careful and do 2 or 3 or 4 and carefully pick through the colors. So there might be like 20 colors in there. Maybe if we're lucky, there might be a nugget in there. You know, I'd take one of those. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys with me and we're gonna stop and look at every piece of quartz for gold. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna come down here and you're gonna watch me dig. Look at my hole. I know, destructo, huh? Don't worry, I'll roll some big old boulders off in it, which is kind of cool. And off into it, but I wanted to show you something really cool. You see that? That is the tip of bedrock that runs right down to there. So you see it? Found a big vein of gold, but it's not what you guys are thinking. I came over here to use the little boy's room. It's still not what you guys are thinking. And I looked up the slope and I saw something cool. So I figured it was worth walking all the way back over here to show you. It smells like honeysuckle, but it's not. But look. You see that? Look. Look at that thing. And the one next to it, and the one behind it, and the one behind that, and the one behind that, and those, and all of these. Let me give you the tour here. I think we got columbine popping out. Look up the slope. Am I moving slow enough for you? I mean, they go way off in the distance, and it's just mixed with everything else. These haven't even opened up yet. Who knows what they're gonna be. Look at those. The yellow. Just all the way up the slope. It goes and goes and goes. Same thing with down here. It just goes and goes and goes. Pretty darn cool. A little canyon of flowers. So, I feel rich already. Look at that. All up there. Okay. Back to gold mining. Out there. In the wild blue yonder. There's that sun sinking behind the hills. So, got our little bucket full of classified materials. Got the Questmobile, the gold rig, all loaded back up. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And everything, all my personals, all my filming gear and everything goes in that. And there's the load. Pretty slick. So off we go. Gotta go through this border field, up over the lip of that green thing, and then a little ways farther. Yeah. So we'll show you the cleanup and the cleaning up and all that in part 2 here. Okay guys, I got you trapped back here with me in the bathroom. This is my little processing plant, and I'm gonna flip that around so I can see what you can see. I'm gonna be the headless banner. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Okay, it's going to be hard to see on this inside light. I'm actually getting little specks of mercury out of here, or silver, depending on what they actually are, and about 5 colors for all those loads. So either we got off the pay streak, or we went too deep or something. There's some more little itty bitty sparkles, but we're not getting a single flake out of this spot. So I think it's fine, fine, fine gold. And there's one there. But that leads me to believe, when I'm looking at this really, really carefully, I see fine, fine, fine gold dust. Just beyond flake, beyond grain. Trapped all in this, so I think I need to save this, classify it down. I got a whole bunch. You can see how much black sand I ended up with. So this, for now, I'm going to call it done, and do some more prospecting around that spot, probably off camera, and see if I can't find some heavier load in there somewhere too. But thanks for coming with me on this one.